Hi, I am Swampy the Brit, and I am playing Sons of the Forest. Today I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some of the basic traps and defensive structures that you can build within the game to help protect your home from the constant stream of cannibals and later on mutants that will be trying to break into your home. So let's jump straight into this with some of the most basic options. The first one are the traps that you can make from within your handbook here. We have two options available, the Bone Maker trap and the Fly Swatter trap. Let's start with the Bone Maker trap. The way this one works is you set it on the ground using the blueprint, and then you just apply the items from your inventory. So 3 rocks, 2 sticks, a rope, some leaves, and a bottle of vodka. And what this one will do is when something steps on the trap, it will then set fire to them and kill them and burn them into a pile of bones, which you can then gather up to make yourself some armor. Right, let's go jump in the lake quickly and put myself out. Oh, never mind, I went out already. And let's reset that trap. Okay, the other option is the Fly Swatter trap. So once again, we'll open up the inventory, lay down the blueprint, 3 rocks, 10 sticks, and a rope. And the way this one works is when it's triggered, it flips up and kills whoever steps onto it. Very helpful to lay those around the perimeter of your base, and they'll take out a good chunk of anyone that's attacking your base. Okay, so those are the two that are made directly from your handbook. Let's grab a couple of logs from the supply down here. Get those over there. 4 ought to do for testing purposes. Now, one of the most basic and simple defensive structures that you can build is a simple log wall. Now, we've probably all made these already. And simply made by sticking logs into the ground. There we go, one simple log wall. Now the problem with them in this state is quite simply that the cannibals can jump on the top of them. They will vault over them as if they're not there, they will launch attacks from the top, and they'll climb straight into your base. The way you get around this is if you line up with them with your axe drawn, you'll see the little dotted triangle on the top. Once you're lined up with those, you can hit it with your axe and cut spikes into the top of your wall. And this will protect your base a little more since they can no longer climb on top of those walls. Now another option you have, now whilst this is covered in the handbook, let's drop over, under stick structures, it's actually 4, 5 and 6 here. It's often overlooked, so it's not very clear what exactly that does. So what you do is you get yourself a stick out, and you can stick a stick straight into the ground. What a lot of people don't realise is if you then hit it with an axe, you're going to knock it forwards as a spike, which will do a considerable amount of damage to anyone or anything that walks into it, including yourself. Now, the problem with it in this state is 3 hits and it is broken. Thank you, Veronica. I'm actually going to need that in a moment. The way you get around this is you put your stick into the ground and you use these rocks that she was very helpfully providing for me. And now that you've got your rocks around the base of it, it will reinforce the structure. And it'll take many more hits now. So before it took 3 and then it was broken. Now as you see, I can run into it repeatedly. And it isn't going to break and disappear straight away. It will break eventually, but you've got much more than 3 hits in it. There are several ways to use this simple spike structure to your benefit. Let's recycle these materials. Simplest way is to line the outside of your walls with these stick structures. I'll put these up. Oh, line those up. Stick some rocks around the bottom to reinforce them. Need another rock. Shorter rock. remember, facing the direction you want them to lay down. And you can create yourself a nice row of spikes against your outer wall. These ones are particularly helpful against the big red guys. Do we have any coming in? Nope. The big red guys, I believe the game refers to them as Titans. I call them Oompa Loompas because that's what they remind me of, giant red Oompa Loompas. They like to hurl themselves at your walls and knock big chunks out of it. If you've got a good row of defensive spikes, they try and throw themselves against the walls and they get spiked. Look at Veronica earning her pay. Not Kelvin. A dude. Oh, I kind of wanted him to step back into the trap there. It would have been a great demonstration. All right. Thank you. Good job. Where was he at? Oh, yeah, the spikes. So that is one way to use the spike walls. As you see, it's nice and simple. Row of spikes along the outside of your walls will stop anything charging into them. The other option you can do here is, let's dismantle these again. This is one of my favourite ways of using them, just so you kind of don't have so much... we'll eat those, thank you. So you don't have so much clutter on the outside of your walls. You can actually place them inside your walls. So you get them as close to your logs as you can. About there, and then we'll pick ourselves up the stones. Axe out. Remember, chop it in the direction you want it to fall, so face your fence. And those spikes will stick out through the wall. And these will work just as effectively. Something charges into the wall to try and knock it down. And they get spiked. And you can line those all up along the inside of the wall there. And you can either go like every other log. If you really want, you can go simply stick them in one at each log. Give yourself a nice tight defensive wall there. A few more stones in there. Axe. Make sure I'm nice and square on. So yeah, anything that hurls itself at that wall is going to be in a world of pain. Okay, so that's another use for these spikes. And here's the third use for the spikes that I have used on occasion. Once again, recycle the materials. Now we saw where I was lining the spikes up on the outside of the wall. So come here. That one. Or get another one there. Now if you do a double row, get the rocks in place. Me running out of rocks. I need another few of these. There's plenty around. Calvin just... Oh, the deer just took itself out on the bone maker trap. Alright, so now we've got these all set up. Just using 4 now for testing purposes. Try and line up so your sticks are parallel to each other. And then chop them down. And then get them from the other side. And you get a double facing barricade, just in case something manages to hop over them or between them. They're being hit from both sides as they come through. They'll take double the damage. I mean, that's a pretty strong barricade there. That will stop pretty much anything trying to get into your base. And there are a few other options as well I like to play with. That's the defensive fence. So one of the other structures that you can build with the sticks is the standing fire. You stick a stick on the ground, stick a cloth on the top of it, and then you stick another stick on top of the cloth. You can make a standing fire. Something you can also do with these is you can link up a bunch of them together. I'm going to need some more sticks here. I've got a few in the base. Go check the racks. Excuse the clutter. I'm in the process of building here. Okay. So you can create yourself essentially a string of these together. Using sticks, you build a fence. Most of the cannibals will try and climb over the top of one of these. Problem is, if the top of your fence is on fire and burning, almost there. Get the fence lit. Toss a few leaves on there. So you now have a standing fire wall. Anything that tries to climb over the top of these will then set light to themselves. You got to do it, Kelvin. He's not. I was gonna say. Oh, you might. Someone's shrieking at me. All right. But any there they are. Any of the cannibals that try to climb over the burning fence will set light to themselves. They're not the brightest of critters in the game. So it works well as a defensive option. You can also line it, if you don't want to have the fires burn, you can line it up with the skull totems. These skull totems are supposed to scare some of the cannibals away. I can't say I've noticed that, but they do provide a nice amount of light at night. So yeah, so those are some of the options that you have within the game to help protect your base. You got the two types of trap from the building manual. We got the defensive walls. We got spikes, which could be used in a variety of ways. Then also fences, which can be, again, used in several different ways to help protect your base from the oncoming hordes. I hope some of the content here has been useful to someone. Please feel free to leave me any comments, any suggestions, or any questions if there's anything you'd like to know more about or anything you'd like to see. I'll see what I can do to show you. Thank you for stopping in. Give me a like, give me a follow. Check me out on Twitch. Go give me a follow over there so you can see when I'm live streaming. And I shall catch you again another day. And I shall see you later.